Welcome to the High-Tech Investments News Report for Week 8. The news report covers some of the many investments projects High-Tech Investments is currently involved in so you can follow our progress. We hope you will enjoy this news feed and look forward to your comments and remarks.
Hi, Bo here, and welcome back to this week's news report. We are now at week 8 in 2024. Things are looking up. We have actually a new project that is being launched here very shortly. We are talking about only a few days. We are talking about maybe around a week's time. When everything is good and ready, we're going to launch it. And you might have guessed it already, so based on the thumbnail of this particular video here, but it has something to do with a new Pamm service that is launching. Now, if you don't know exactly what Pamm is or MAM, you have different names for different things in here. We are obviously here to explain it all to you. This is a service that has a different attitude, so still it is trading, but it's a different type of trading. You can actually lean back and do a lot less. We're gonna explain a bit more about it exactly, but the good thing here also is we can prove that this particular service is actually working. We have plenty of experience with all this, both in the past with demo accounts, back testing, but also with real life money. So now it's time to take it to the next level, and you can be one of the first ones to join High-Tech Investment in here. So setting up this particular service, this is just one of many services there will be coming in the future, but as always, we prefer to take it nice and slow at our own pace to make sure that we are not getting in over our heads. But let's start off in a different place first, and we'll come back to this later in the video, so please make sure you get your coffee and tea ready, and then let's go. Now, in last week's news report, I mentioned that I went to visit the Yield Notes office, and I'm not going to go through the entire process here again. There was a lot of talk on the YouTube channel itself, and there was also a lot of emails that I got, and everybody is obviously hoping that Yield Notes will be back online again. So do we, of course. We cannot say that this is not happening. All we can mention again here is that nobody was there to greet us when we were there. We might have just bumped into them during one of their lunch breaks. But of course, it is a bit concerning that we are not really getting news and information and updates from anybody in the team. So we know that John is no longer with Yield Notes, but Steve is definitely in there. And as I mentioned last time, we did speak to him. And I also asked him just regarding the white paper, because again, it mentions here that we should be well on the way with Yield Notes Pro by end of Q1. But also here, Steve mentioned that it might be delayed. Exactly by how much, we don't know. So all we can do is encourage the Yield Notes and the Decenomy team to come out, provide us some more information on what's actually going to happen, what do they expect, so that we have an honest chance to figure out, how we can deal with the Yield Notes, because now it's coming up to almost a 2-year period if it goes into Q2, and that is obviously a very long time for a recovery phase. Now, in the meantime, and while we wait, let's have a look at the SAP coin. SAP coin was at the same level as it was last week, so it has been moving a bit out, but not really much. And especially in the last 1 or 2 days, it seems to have lost out a bit of the huff and puff. It actually gained up to 0.6021, all the way down to where it was the week before, again, down to the 6 zeros and 1.8. So no real traction going forward at the moment, and as we mentioned a few times here, we don't believe that's going to happen either until we see some good positive news from Urs, from Steve, from the rest of the Yield Notes Pro and Decenomy team. In the meantime, we are still staking our SAP coins, and last week also we mentioned things are going slow. We had the last one in on the 15th of February. And now on the 18th, we have a single one in, and it comes in every single time at 280 SAP. And you can see there's a big gap in between here from 28th of January until the 15th of February. So big gap, so more than 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks almost. And then all of a sudden, 3 weeks in between, now we're getting another 280 SAP, which is obviously very nice. If we compare it to what we had in January, we are still only halfway there. But at least let's hope we get another one in, so that we can get close to the 1,000 SAP. At the end of the day, we have now available SAPs, 21,000 for staking, and it is moving, just not moving fast enough for us. So overall, the profit for that particular coin this week was 1.3%, and the 280 saps, as we mentioned. The second one we have, staking, also seems to have taken off all of a sudden. This is the PNY, and that was also going very, very slow. You can see further down the line, 31st of January, 12th of February, so almost 2 weeks in here. And then it took another 5 days. Then it came in on the 17th, 18th, 20th, and 23rd. So all of a sudden we get 4 nice little bonuses of 133 PNY in here. So that has taken our overall total up to 17,654. So that's quite nice. And we can also see that compared to last month, we are still way behind also here for the February part. So let's hope we can squeeze another 1 or 2 in here before the end of the month. Overall, that gives us 3.1% for the profits of this particular week, which is quite good actually. So it's quite impressive. We are very happy with it. 532 PNY in total. So the week has been quite good when it comes to the staking side. Going on to the Bitcoin versus USDT. Now last week we left the Bitcoin at the 51,400 mark. So over here with the red circle. After that it dropped a bit, but never dropped below the 50,000. And since then the high for the week was 52,985. Quickly dropped after that. So again, these pumps and dumps, which is quite normal in the crypto market, all the way down to here, 50,600 or 700 as it looks like, and then up again at 52,500. So definitely a bit of a roller coaster ride. And if we have a look at it, it's trading mostly sideways, and you can see the bottom here also all the way through. The lowest part for this particular week session was 50,521. So the ceiling again was almost 53,000. So definitely volatile at the moment with a couple of thousand. Now if we go over to the Trillant news, there is not much news for the Trillant. One of the things that came out from the team itself, they wanted to give a brief update on the ongoing process. Again here regarding the compliance review. They say normally no detailed information is provided during the ongoing proceedings. As such, proceedings require the utmost confidentiality and care. So they don't want to disclose too many details in here, but still they are trying to do the best they can. They cannot disclose specific information until the procedure has been completed. And then they go, well, nevertheless, we are pleased to inform you here that they have seen some positive results. Although there are still some steps to be taken, they are very optimistic. And one of the things is the Kronen Zeitung. So this looks to be a German newspaper, reported last week that the allegations against the DSV Löwen are unfounded. So and that the innocence of the club, and I take it the club here being the Trillion platform itself, is okay, which is obviously very nice to hear, but then again, that doesn't really do it for us. Anyway, we are aware, as they mentioned here, the process will take some time until everything has been checked. They are working at full speed, but unfortunately we cannot achieve the speed we would like. And definitely we are not happy with that speed either. We would like to get back to what was normal, so in the old system in here. And again, they thank us for our patience. Well, we don't really have a choice, do we now at the moment? So just get on with it, and let's hope that all our members can have something positive to look forward to very, very soon. Now, if we have a quick look at the tree through the Coins Store Exchange in here, we can also see that not much has really happened in the last week. We left it at 0.0002107. And since then, the coin price has gone pretty much sideways. It hasn't followed the normal crypto pattern as you saw with Bitcoin. It's still at 0.0002111. So pretty much in the same space as we expected it to be from last week. We also got the news in for the Money 3 for week 8. And here that was a very low profit. You have seen already that February doesn't look so good. For the Money 3, it wasn't really impressive either. The low risk account here only did $60 or 0.8%. The medium risk actually had a loss this particular week. So that is the first time this year that this particular medium account had a loss at minus $107 or down to minus 1.9%. I'll explain a bit exactly what happened in here, because the overall trade was positive, but there was other things that actually influenced this particular one, and that is something traders needs to be very, very aware of. Funny enough, Alex has made a video about this particular subject also this week, and again, when you then watch that particular video and then you see what has happened in here, then you have to be a bit cautious of how exactly you're going to use this. But I'll explain that just in a moment. After that, we're going to look at the high risk account. High risk was not very impressive, only $40, but certainly it is better than the medium one, and 1.3%. So overall, not very good numbers from that particular week. If we have a quick look at the medium risk account, that one is still doing okay. Don't forget that, yes, we had the issues last year, but we are now past the equity of 5,000, and we are going forward. Total return 13%, obviously low, and the history of this particular account is more than 300 days now, so we are getting a feel for this. Now the question is obviously, what exactly happened? Why did we take a loss when Bo, you just told us here that basically the trade was okay? So for that, I just jump over here to the MT4 platform where we have the Money Tree running. You can see there's 3 accounts in here. There's 3 buys. The first one here is at 0.2, second one is at 0.34, and the third one is at 0.58. So this is the way when things are going against the Money Tree, then it puts in a new trade. It's going to be a bit higher every single time. And then when the trend reverses, very similar to the profit retriever, then it cashes in. So if we have a look over here, we can see the one with the biggest lot size, the 5.8, has actually made $570 in here, and the other 2 trades that was at 0.2 and 0.34 both have a negative amount in front of them. But if you put all these 3 numbers together, you will end up with a profit of about $24. But have a look at the swap in here, and you can ask yourself, okay, what is swap? Most of the traders will definitely know what that is. This is actually from the leverage for the particular account, and that is not always shown on the demo accounts. Some do and some don't, but definitely when you are trading with real life money, then you will see it in here. And the reason for that, again, is that every single time you leverage, basically means you borrow money to trade with. And if we have a look at the timeline here, we can see that the first trade that was done, which is the 0.2, was done 5th of January, so 2024. So obviously a long time ago here now. Second one was done on the 16th of January, and the last one here came in on the 13th of February. This is the big one with 0.58 lot size. And then things are reversing, but it only went back into positive, as we can see here, on the 20th of February. So obviously in between then we borrowed money from the 5th of January until the 20th of February. So again, about 1.5 months, quite big lot sizing. So that actually has a big influence on why this was in the minus. So overall, our profit was $24.10. The swap that you had down here was $160.95, and then you deduct those 2 here, you end up with a loss of $136.85. So just be aware of that. This will happen from time to time when you have open trades that have been open for a very long time. So the broker will go in, charge you overnight, over the weekends, things like this. So this is something that definitely you have to also put into your calculations sometimes, depending on how long your trades are open. So let's move on to the high risk one. So the high risk one was the one that actually made the $40 for this particular week. We did have the loss the week before, and I mentioned that also in here. So if you haven't seen that yet, you go back to our week 7 of the news report. History now also for this one, 303 days. So it is a proven one. But again, here we made a bit of a calculation error on the lot sizing, and then at the same time, instantly the market comes in and then punish you for whatever you have done here. Now let's move on to the profit retriever for week 8. Also here it is a weak result for that particular week. The FTSE 100, well, it keeps strong with $420 or 4.2%. We can see the Euro New Zealand also did quite okay with $230 or 2.3%. New Zealand USD was also up there with $218 or 2.2%. And then we have the Euro AUD, $182 or 1.8%. Euro USD came in number 5, $172 or 1.7%. Overall, if you would have traded those top 5 accounts here for that particular week of week 8, $1,222 would be your profits, or 2.4%. Now this particular accounts with all the profit retrievers that we have in here, you can see it again, the weekly returns, and I have to mention to you again the weekly returns, monthly returns, because we are not updating the lot size every single time we have a bigger and bigger pool. We are doing the copy link service, so that also means that we always have to trade with the same type of lot size, so it fits within a $10,000 account. So that's the reason why it will slowly but surely decline over time. History now is 708 days, so we are getting very, very close to the 2 years, and we might actually stop part of this trading because, as you'll see, everything is going quite well. We have been trading the profit retriever for a very long time. You can see it is extremely profitable, and also here we are a bit low for this particular month. February is short, but also last February, as you can see here, was 20,000. In January and March it was 24. So it is a bit of a drop of about 15 or 20%. And we can also see here that at the moment we also going to be quite short compared to the last couple of months in here. But that doesn't mean things are over. $10,000 in a month is still quite okay. We are certainly not going to complain. Now you can obviously find a lot more details as usual on our individual EAs and robots, and we always get questions every single week about the links, how much money we should put in there. And as I always mention, start off with demo accounts. Then when you go to live accounts, put extra money in there or lower your lot size until you are happy with the risk and the strategy that you are going for, because you and you alone are responsible for your own trading. But we are trying to show you these are all the signals, and you can mix and match them up as you like. You can just compare what we have. And if you also want to be a bit more serious about it, you go to the Profit Retriever Trading, where you'll find a lot more videos in here showing you how you can do it, how you can set up some of the EAs, what is important. And then also the copy link trading over here. If you are not up to setting off the robots and spending a lot of time on this, you can simply copy the links that we have on the website, and you can of course also browse them free of charge on the FX Blue site. That's not a problem, or even on the Expert Forex site. All of it is for free, just for you. Going over to the Trade Explorer. Trade Explorer also seems to be a bit low this particular week. Again, the 22 pair also only made $40 and 20 cents or 0.4%. So not really very impressive. The 10 pair one normally does a bit better, and we can also see $136 is certainly a lot better than $40, and it did 1.4%, but it is way below what we have seen previously. This week here we have also changed the graph just slightly, just to show you some of the drawdowns. At the moment it's quite good. 22 pair has doubled, so 100%. That's good. Floating profit and loss is minus 207, so that's everything is under control. You can see the free margin is 19,800, so massive. Total returns, as we said, 104. Monthly returns 7.8. And history of that particular trading account also 284 days with a lot of different currency pairs in here, 22 as I mentioned. So let's go and have a look at the 10 pair one, which is normally a bit more aggressive. And in that particular one here, we are still up. Floating profit and loss is actually only minus 73. But again, I wanted to show you also some of the drawdowns we had in here for the 22 pair. The maximum drawdown was about 4,400. In the 10 pair one, we had a bigger one, which was actually a margin call based on the leverage we had, 1 to 200. So we had a couple of trades closed, so by the broker. And that meant we lost a bit of money. We had a maximum drawdown of 5,500 in here, so you can compare that with what has happened ever since, and that has been very, very small, and everything has been running extremely smooth, and we really like this one. We don't have to make too many adjustments or changes at any given time. Total return 154%, monthly returns 10.2, so very good. Weekly returns 2.3. And then again, same history also. We have 284 days of history, so plenty of track records for all of this. Another one we have plenty of history on is the Wave Liberator. Now also for week 8, we have the top 5 EAs for this week. And once again, also this EA is a bit down on profit. You might not notice it when you see that Euro USD made 46 bucks or 4.6% in just a week. A lot of people will be very happy with that if they could do that in a month, or if they can do that in a quarter. But we are used to a lot more with the Wave Liberator. And if you also would have gone for the Aussie Swiss francs, we have made $43 or 4.3%. And Great British Pounds USD comes in at $42 or 4.2%. US CAD $29 or 2.9%. And then the Swiss francs, Japanese, $27 or 2.7%. And then if you would have traded those accounts in here, now they are set up again on $10,000 accounts, but the calculation has been done so that, because most of them can actually run on $1,000 accounts, we don't recommend it. We still recommend that you spend a couple of extra thousand in the beginning until you are okay with the risk. Total amount $188 or 3.8% for that particular week. That is still very, very good numbers. And if we have a look at the overall portfolio, and this portfolio here now consists of 16 different Wave Liberators set up. You can see some of all the symbols that we have in here. So they are a very good mix of different type of currencies, and that also what makes the very, very smooth graph all the way through. We can see that the balance continues to go up. The balance obviously now with 16 accounts started at 160. And the floating profit is at the moment in minus 1,440. But again, this is a big account of 170,000, so it's not really a big issue. Free margin 167,128, so there's plenty of room to maneuver. And as it says, this is a portfolio of the 16. Total return over this particular time, 188 days. So we have now experience of trading this one for more than half a year. Total return 9.5%, and you say, well, that is quite low. But again, this was set up for FTMO accounts so that we keep within the 5% drawdown limits. And this particular portfolio account certainly does that. We have shown that in prior videos. Monthly return is 1.6%. Again, you can up the lot sizing. So if you are not doing FTMO parts, and that means that if you, let's say, double or triple it, you will obviously get so much more in here, or you can go 10 times higher, then you get 16% monthly returns and 4% in weekly returns. It's entirely up to you. Trade wins are very good also, 69% overall. So this is a very, very good setup overall. And if we have a look just at the numbers that are coming in every single month, again, the same numbers as you have on the prior graph, you will see here that first month, 440 back in August. Since then, things have been going well, and obviously we have also been adding extra accounts. But again, also here, February is not the best one so to trade, as we saw on some of the other ones, and we can see it on our historical data. But we have still done 1,244 in here. We haven't lost a single account, so that is also very, very important. And that is basically part of the news, that all these new 16 EAs, the Wave Liberator itself in here, we actually are going to put forward. So a new service, so this is the Pamm service and or MAM service. It all depends on how you are looking at it. So what we did here is we asked ChatGPT just to show you what is the difference between a Pamm and a MAM account. So because there's not really any difference, the only difference is the amount of numbers. And ChatGPT came back and told us here the Pamm allows a trader to manage multiple investor funds in a single account. Profits and losses are distributed among investors based on their percentage of the total investment. And then the multi-account manager manage a trader to manage several individual trading accounts with customized settings for each client. Traders are executed across all accounts simultaneously. And in essence, Pamm pool investor funds into one account, while MAM allows a trader to manage multiple accounts separately. And again, obviously, we are starting with one account. We are going on to several accounts, and that is also why we're just easing you into exactly what it is we're going to do, how we're going to do it, so that you can see if this is actually an investment opportunity for you going forward. Because again, you have different portfolios on your EAs, you have different investment portfolios on maybe your platform, similar to what we have done. So this will be simply another leg of income. And we just had a quick look on the website just to see exactly the top 5 best Pamm Forex brokers in here. And these are the ones that actually came out. And the ones that we know about already is FP Market, that we have traded with for a couple of years. We are quite happy with them. But in this particular case, we have actually gone with the Black Bull Markets in here. And it also says here it has the best lowest spread Pamm account broker 2024. So we are quite happy to see that. It also explains a bit here again what it is. And obviously one of the major issues that you have with the Pamm accounts here is for the US residents, and could also be Canadian and sometimes even the UK ones, that there will be limitations. We are aware of that, and there's also limitations on the Black Bull Markets, but most of the markets is actually open for it. There is ways around it, but this is for a different video for sure. Now also you can choose between Pamm and MAM trading. And again, both accounts are used for professional traders to automatically manage the accounts. And as I mentioned and you saw before, it's a matter of the amount of accounts that we have in here. We are starting with one because we know there is some tricky things that we need to learn, even though we know the robots and we know how everything is running. And you can see there's a full list also for the Forex brokers. I will make sure that I will also put some links in the video description below from all these parts, including this one. And this is also on the web where they are looking at some of the best brokers, so around the most trusted ones. And again, you can see FP Markets is actually the top one in here, so which is also why we have traded this one in the past, and we still have a couple of accounts. And then we have the Black Bull one in here, so number 2. And when you enter that, you can go for more information. And we also have IC Markets, which is another one that we also like very, very much. So obviously in here, there is plenty of good information about all the different brokers. But in our case, we are going with Black Bull in this particular case. And you can click in here, or if you go to open an account, just be aware that there is actually refer a friend, and where you can earn up to $250 for both you and your friend. And that obviously again means in here that if you want to support us and you want to trade, so together with us with the Black Bull account that we're going to set up in here, we definitely suggest that you go in and click the link to support us. And at the same time, once you are also start training, you will get the same amount as we are getting. So it's a win-win for both. And obviously that is one of the few times where you see this. So there is no real catch in this. Obviously there is some limitations so that you need to meet. So you can't just click the link and get paid straight away, and we will not get paid for that either. There has to be a certain trading taking place before that will be cashed out. But you can find a lot more details on the Black Bull website itself. Now you will still talk about, says, well, okay, Bo, this is actually demo accounts. What about the real accounts? And yes, we normally don't show you all the real accounts, certainly not on live. Again, this is for hacking purposes, things like this. But we have taken out one of the real accounts here from the FX Blue. Again, this one here was set up similar to what you saw earlier, where we take each individual accounts. And you can see here that we have spent quite a few of them. So in here we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there's 9. So more than 10 accounts. I think we have 11 set up for this particular account in here. So even though we can trade them on $1,000 accounts, We had 11 accounts on this, and that has provided a very good balance from 10,000 up to 13,748. Again, floating profit and loss, we are down minus 453 at the moment, so that's not really an issue. Margin level, for this particular one here, we are using margin 1 to 500. So the margin level is quite high, 7,549, so all good. Total return is 33.3%, and that's over 83 days. Monthly return is 13%. It has gone down a bit, as we mentioned here, because February has not been the best month for any of our trading EAs. Weekly return is 3%. Trade wins is over 70% here. So all the numbers are looking good, and these are the same exact numbers that we are expecting to hit. So with our Pamm and Mamm accounts going forward, where we are introducing the Wave Liberator as the first one. Now you can also have a look at the numbers that we have produced so far, and you can see that we actually started testing back in December already. So with the real live accounts, the history in here is 83 days. So even with live real money accounts, it looks very, very similar to what we have gotten from our demo accounts. So we are quite happy. We are double checking what is coming on the demo accounts, what is actually coming on the real accounts. So, and you can see the numbers are coming in every single time. Again, $10,000 account, 400, 400, 300, 400, 200, 180, 300, 240, 580, 273, and then 239. So a bit lower for that particular week in here, but we are still very, very happy with what we have. Now, all of it you can find on our website. And again, we mentioned here that if you trade individual accounts, we suggest that you spend a bit more money on the accounts to make sure that you reduce the risk. But if you are going with a portfolio similar to what we are doing, there is a bit more safety in the many different accounts. And right now we are running 16 accounts. We are taking the best ones. That again means that from time to time we're switching one off, which maybe not behaving as it should be. We put it in, adjust it, and then we put in other accounts in here instead to make sure that we are constantly getting the right percentage in here. That is also what we're going to do with the Pamm accounts. We're going to basically look at it and then develop either more accounts or raise some of the lot sizes depending on how much money is coming in. We know already now here also that it looks like there's a big interest. So I have been maybe not inundated, but certainly had requests several times every single week now for the past 6 months. People asking me here if I could set something up for them, because a lot of people don't really want to set up with VPS systems, MT4 platforms, things like this. They just want to put money into an account, and then they want to see their money grow without any other hassle. And that's what this is actually doing in the future. Now, Alex also has a couple of videos out this particular week. He's selecting the very best links, so he's now showing that. He's also doing some training videos on this. And this is again from the copy link service on how to do this and how to exactly look at which ones are getting the money in for you and which ones are not. And the second one here is why rich traders become richer over time. And what he's discussing in here is actually leverage. Leverage I showed you here also can actually also bite you at the end of the day. And you saw that on the money tree for this particular week. So be careful. It's not all positive every single time you borrow money. Don't forget, you also have to pay it back. And that's what we had for you in this week's news report. I do hope that you have taken notice of our new Pamm offering service, or Mamm, in the future once we get more accounts. But as I said, we are taking the slow approach. We are taking a steady approach. We want to see how big of an interest there actually is in here. You will get more information. So as the days go by, there will be information both on our website. There will also be a little YouTube video for the launch. There will also be some further details and information through Expert Forex. So Alex is very much aware of this because we are using his EAs at the end of the day here also for commercial use, which is not normally done. So that is also why obviously we need the approval from Alex. That's also why you will find some details and information coming out of the Expert Forex forum. So once we are ready with this, and I have even also teamed up with another partner of mine from Australia, where he's going to be a bit closer to some of the forums and trying to explain exactly how you can get in to the Black Bull service, what can be done, what cannot be done regarding money investments, when you can take your money out, so on and so on. So he will be helping me with some of the details, as I'm obviously busy with some of the developments and other testing on the side. So I will get also some further details regarding this as the week goes on, and hopefully you will be able to see the new and exciting launch for our Pamm account. So until then, I hope to see you on one of my next videos. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. So please don't forget to like and add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.